All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're tackling a topic that I think every parent struggles with.
Oh, yeah,
Truly connecting with our kids and making sure that we're communicating effectively with them.
for sure.
We've got some awesome excerpts here that we're going to be pulling from all about active listening
Uh-huh.
and family communication strategies.
Right.
The goal is to help us as parents or caregivers or anyone who works with children really to better understand these little humans
Mm-hmm.
and to build those deeper connections with them.
Sounds good.
So one phrase that kept jumping out at me from the excerpts
Yeah.
was truly hearing our children.
Yeah.
What do you think? What makes active listening so much more than just,
Yeah.
passively hearing the words that someone's saying?
I think that's such a great point, and it's something that we talk about a lot.
Yeah.
Active listening is really about engaging all of your senses when you're listening to someone.
Okay.
So it's not just about hearing the words, but it's also about paying attention to their body language, their tone of voice, their facial expressions.
Oh, interesting.
Really trying to understand the emotions and the needs that are behind the message.
The stuff that isn't being said.
Exactly.
Because sometimes what isn't being said is even louder
Totally agree.
than what is being said.
Especially with kids.
Yeah, and that actually perfectly segues into another phrase
Okay.
that the excerpts kept highlighting. Validating our children's feelings.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Which honestly sometimes feels easier said than done.
It can be tough.
Especially when my kid is having a meltdown because I gave him the wrong color cup.
Oh, I've been there.
So why is it so crucial to validate those feelings, even when maybe the reasons behind them seem, well, a little ridiculous to us as adults?
Because feeling heard and understood is absolutely fundamental to a child's emotional development and their sense of security.
Gotcha.
When a child feels like their feelings are taken seriously, even if you don't necessarily agree with why they're feeling that way, it helps them to trust you
Okay.
and to feel safe expressing themselves.
Right. So it's not about necessarily giving in to their demands.
Yeah, not at all.
Or changing your boundaries or anything like that.
It's about acknowledging their emotional experience.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So, for example, if your child is having a meltdown because they can't have a cookie before dinner, instead of dismissing their feelings,
Okay.
you could say something like, I understand that you're really disappointed that you can't have a cookie right now. It's tough to wait when you really want something.
And what I'm hearing you say is that even though I am not giving them the cookie,
Right.
the fact that I am acknowledging that their desire for the cookie is real
Exactly.
and that their disappointment is real, that in and of itself can sometimes really de-escalate a situation.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
It's all about validating that emotional experience.
Wow. So there's actually research showing that kids whose feelings are consistently validated
Yes.
grow up with higher self-esteem and better emotional regulation.
That's right.
I had no idea that there was actual science backing that up.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating stuff.
It's really powerful, but, it's one thing to say, validate your kids' feelings. But how do we actually put this into practice?
Okay.
Are there any specific strategies or tactics
Absolutely.
that we can use to become better active listeners?
There are a ton of techniques.
Okay, great.
But one that I find particularly helpful is reflective listening.
Reflective listening.
Have you heard of this one?
I don't think so.
So it's basically where you mirror back what you're hearing from the child, not just their words,
Okay.
but also the emotion behind those words.
So I'm like a verbal mirror.
Exactly. So for instance, if your child says, I don't want to go to school today, I hate school. Instead of just saying, well, you have to go to school, you could say, it sounds like you're feeling really frustrated and maybe even a little scared about going to school today.
Oh, I see.
By reflecting back their feelings, you're showing them that you're really listening and that you understand.
This might be a long shot, but I'm thinking maybe it also helps the kid to label
You're totally
what they're feeling.
Yes.
Because sometimes kids don't even know.
Exactly. They don't have the words for it.
Yeah.
So you're kind of giving them the language
Oh, that's cool.
to express their emotions.
I like that.
It can be really helpful.
Okay, so reflective listening.
Yes.
What else?
Another great strategy is to ask open-ended questions.
Okay.
These are questions that encourage more than just a yes or no answer.
Give me an example.
So instead of asking, did you have a good day at school?
Right.
Which kind of invites a one-word response.
Yeah.
You could try something like, what was the most interesting thing you learned today?
Oh, that's good.
Or, who did you play with at recess?
I love that.
These types of questions really invite the child to open up and share more about their experiences.
And it shows that you're actually interested. in what they have to say.
You're not just going through the motions.
Okay, I'm writing this down. Open-ended questions, got it.
Another important tip is to create a space where your child feels safe to talk.
What does that look like?
It's about being present and attentive. Putting your phone down.
Oh, that one's hard.
I know, it's a tough one. Making eye contact
Yeah.
and really listening without interrupting or judging.
I can see how that would make a kid feel like, okay, mom or dad or whoever actually cares about what I have to say.
Right. It sends the message that their thoughts and feelings are important to you.
So crucial for building that trust and that rapport.
Absolutely.
Okay, anything else?
I think that those are some really good starting points.
Okay, so to recap what we've talked about today, active listening is about so much more than just hearing the words.
Right.
It's about tuning into those nonverbal cues.
Yes.
Paying attention to body language, tone of voice, and really trying to understand the emotions and the unspoken needs behind what our kids are saying. It's also about validating their feelings.
That's key.
Even when we don't necessarily agree with the reasons behind them.
Exactly.
And we've got some really awesome practical strategies that we can use, like reflective listening and asking open-ended questions.
Those are great tools.
To foster those deeper connections with our children.
I love it.
So as you go about your day today, I want to challenge you to think about this.
Okay.
What is one small change you can make today to become a more active listener in your family?
Yeah.
Maybe it's implementing that phone down at dinner rule.
That's a good one.
Or maybe it's making a conscious effort to ask more open-ended questions, instead of those yes or no questions that we tend to fall back on.
It makes a big difference.
The little tweaks can really make a world of difference. So until next time, happy diving, everyone.
Bye.